CTV Edmonton, local breaking news with Brendan Purdy.
They're packaging up the results as though this was a real consultation.
Tonight on CTV News, the Alberta Next panel recommends referendums on multiple contentious topics. Good evening, and thank you so much for joining us. The Alberta Next panel has delivered its report, including 7 recommendations for the province. Those recommendations include holding referendums on a number of topics, including immigration, provincial jurisdiction, and an Alberta pension plan. The report recommends that the province provide Albertans a detailed proposal outlining any benefits, the structure, and contribution rates before holding a referendum on whether Alberta should leave the CPP in favor of an APP. The Alberta Next panel held town hall meetings in 10 communities, including in Edmonton. It also considered 6 surveys, which had 6,000 to 12,000 respondents each, and included 2 questions on a provincial pension plan. The province listed 4 potential benefits of an APP and asked Albertans which ones that they liked the most. Between July and October, 73% of respondents didn't agree with any of the potential benefits that were listed. Only 12% said it would improve retirement benefits, while 3% said it would reduce premiums. In the second question, 59% said the biggest risk of an APP would be mismanagement by the current or future governments.
It really raises questions about whether grassroots democracy is the point at all, or whether this is just about setting things up in such a way as to try to get the answers that you want. And if you don't get those answers, apparently that's not enough to stop recommendations for proceeding on a couple of matters that Albertans have given a pretty clear indication that they don't want.
Now, months late, on the Friday before Christmas, they're packaging up the results as though this was a real consultation and suggesting spending millions more dollars of Albertans' money on referenda, on keeping Albertans angry at Ottawa.
Premier Danielle Smith chaired the panel. We asked her office for an interview, but we're told that she'll talk about the results tomorrow on her radio show. In a release, the province says the UCP caucus will review the report over the coming months and discuss which recommendations it should follow. We've been told no decisions have been made at this time. The Alberta Party has a new name, the Progressive Tory Party of Alberta. Party leader Peter Guthrie made the announcement on social media last night. It comes 2 weeks after the province introduced Bill 14, which limits provincial party names. The off-limit words include Conservative, Democratic, and Wild Rose, among others. The UCP says it's so people don't confuse parties. Guthrie initially attempted to revive the Progressive Conservative Party name. It's been more than 3 weeks since the recall petition for Lethbridge East MLA Nathan Neudorf was issued. Frustrations are mounting as the petition's organizer has seemingly disappeared. CTV's Quinn Keenan has the story.
There's growing frustration about the disappearing Neudorf recall petition.
The Lethbridge Raging Grannies were set up outside Nathan Neudorf's office for the Alberta Funds Public Schools petition. But it was the recall petition to remove the Affordability and Utilities Minister himself that had everyone talking.
So there's a lot of words to describe what has been going on. I guess stonewalled would be one of them. A sham would be another.
The petition was launched by a man named Ryan Tanner and made official by Elections Alberta on November 25th. Since then, several people interested in canvassing for or signing the petition have tried to contact Tanner with no response.
Part of it is that there was a group that was very well prepared to take this petition on, and unfortunately we're a week behind applying, so they got turned down.
Raging Granny Barb Phillips and her friend heard back from Tanner after trying several times to get in touch with him. They want to canvass for the recall. A meeting was set up between the two and a man named Mike at a local coffee shop. But when they met Mike, they said he had little knowledge of the recall attempt or how petitions even work. He told them he received the recall papers from Neudorf's office.
So here we are 3 weeks today, later, and we're still asking the same questions. Who is Ryan Tanner? Who is Mike? Because we didn't get a last name.
It's unclear if anyone has been able to sign the petition. The lack of progress has led to accusations that the recall organizers started the petition to stop a real attempt to recall Neudorf, one of 23 such efforts in the province to remove MLAs. Neudorf has denied any connection, saying in a statement, "I have no relationship to Ryan Tanner, nor am I involved in my own recall campaign." But the swirling rumors could lead to some blowback for Neudorf.
The best way for this to be cleared up, of course, would be if Ryan Tanner was to actually appear and look like he's actually making some effort.
CTV News has made multiple attempts to contact Ryan Tanner, but has not received a response. Quinn Keenan, CTV News, Lethbridge.
A judge has removed an injunction on a law preventing Alberta youth from accessing gender-affirming care. In June, advocacy groups eGale and Skipping Stone successfully filed an injunction so doctors could continue providing gender-affirming care, including puberty blockers, to youth under 16 years old. The government appealed to have it removed after using the notwithstanding clause to pass the bill last week. On Thursday, a judge ruled in the government's favor. Advocates say they plan to file another injunction based on criminal law because doctors who don't comply could face imprisonment. Surge and overcapacity protocols have been activated in Alberta hospitals as they see an influx of people coming in with the flu. Today, officials urged Albertans to get vaccinated and only head to emergency rooms if necessary. CTV's Merrick Takash reports.
Flu season is in full swing and hospitals are filling up.
Hospitals, as you know, particularly in the Calgary and Edmonton area, are experiencing higher demand due to an increase in respiratory illness.
Provincial officials holding a virtual news conference on the situation today. They say hundreds of beds are being added to help ease the pressure.
To ensure sufficient capacity, 336 hospital beds have been designated for respiratory virus season, and of these, 206 beds are now available year-round.
They're also urging Albertans to get vaccinated, since in some places the worst may be on the way.
So the folks who do the modeling for us would tell us that we are possibly past the peak in Calgary, we'll see, but possibly not in northern Alberta.
Alberta's new chief medical officer of health says while the vaccine isn't a perfect match for the flu strains circulating, it's still worth getting.
There's 3 different strains in the vaccine. So one of the strains has slightly changed a little bit. The vaccine is still effective, perhaps a little bit less effective for adults and seniors than otherwise. But it is very effective for the influenza B and the influenza A H1N1 component of the vaccine.
With long wait times at hospitals, they say it's a good idea to seek guidance before heading to an ER.
There's also many sort of gray area in between cases, and that's really why we have 811. And it's why we have the Heal Alberta website. It's why your family physicians provide access to after-hours care or your nurse practitioner.
Provincial data shows 360 Albertans are currently hospitalized with the flu, 30 of them in intensive care. And so far this season, there have been 39 deaths. Merrick Takash, CTV News, Edmonton.
A man in Edmonton responsible for a string of fires in the Alberta Avenue area was sentenced late this afternoon to 12 years in prison. In June, Darcy Willier was convicted of 3 counts of arson with disregard for human life, 3 counts of arson damaging property, and 6 firearms offenses. The arsons happened between 2020 and 2021. The court heard several victim impact statements about the fear that many who lived in the community at the time still have when they hear sirens or smell smoke. The Crown asked for a 20-year sentence, while the defense argued 7 to 9 years would be more appropriate. Willier was given a credit of just over 5 years for his time spent in pre-trial custody, leaving nearly 7 years left on his sentence. In a year-end review with CTV News, the head of Alberta's RCMP says more needs to be done to address the specific needs of different rural communities. He says it's been a busy year with the Mounties working on their relationship with the province and preparing to encourage safety on highways with higher speed limits. CTV's Connor Hogg reports.
communities are changing. Some of their needs are changing.
Alberta RCMP Commanding Officer Trevor Deroux says despite crime severity and number of reports being down in 2025, the changing face of rural policing will remain a concern in the new year.
Each community has their own needs as well. Sometimes it's traffic, sometimes it may be drugs, sometimes it may be social disorder issues, and we need to be agile enough and responsive to deal with those as they come about.
The Alberta government announced a new police funding model Thursday, with municipalities covering more of the frontline costs of policing. Deroux says getting more value for money spent is a priority for the Mounties. It led to their real-time operations center.
Real-time support with analytical support, supervisory support, as well as the ability to bring in other resources when they need support, assistance as well.
Those of us who live in rural, we know that the coverage is a little bit patchy.
Deroux says that despite a possible provincial police force spearheaded by the governing UCP, it's not his place to play politics.
When it comes times of strong political debate around this, that independence, the non-political positioning, and the focus on public safety is critical.
Working with the province is crucial to the RCMP's 2026 outlook. On the government's plan to increase highway speed limits, Deroux says safe driving behavior needs to be factored in at any speed.
Driving in a defensive manner at intersections, stopping, making sure you come to a complete stop, and clearly checking intersections.
His priority in the new year, to support frontline staff as they respond to community needs.
Policing has always been a difficult job. It's a challenging job, certainly rewarding, but it is one that needs the support.
Connor Hogg, CTV News, Edmonton.
Alberta Health Services is bringing back its bell ringing policy for children with cancer after pushback from families. It's tradition on many cancer units for patients to ring a large bell to celebrate the shift from treatment to recovery. The ritual often involves family and friends. The Stollery put a stop to it, saying it could expose vulnerable patients on the unit to germs and can also be insensitive to patients who aren't at the recovery phase of their cancer journey. AHS now says it'll allow bell ringing at the Stollery again. That'll come in March when it's not peak respiratory virus season. One family tells CTV that their daughter was devastated when told she couldn't ring the bell after battling leukemia for 2 years. Karami Dye Wilson says the bell means so much for families dealing with a sick child.
It was just this intense feeling of hope, and I felt myself welling with tears and just, oh goodness, there's other kids who've made it through this. Maybe Mila will get to ring that bell one day too.
Families can also choose to take a bell home to mark the milestone in their own way. Volunteers are counting up all the toys collected, donated, and dropped off to Toy Mountain. All these toys will be given to kids on Christmas through Big Brothers Big Sisters. This is the 10th year for CTV's Toy Mountain campaign. Trail Appliances here in Edmonton has been taking part for 8 years now. The company says it likes giving back to the community that supported it for so long.
Another successful year. The generosity of folks here in Edmonton has been amazing. You know, we go through the toys, we see things like Lego and robots and you know, stuffies and all things that will hopefully make a child's Christmas morning a little brighter.
It's super important. It helps every kid feel like somebody's thinking about them, somebody thought about them and took the time to go and get them something really special.
More than 2,400 toys were collected and $15,000 was raised. Thank you to everyone who donated. Elections Alberta says that it was notified that there will be a new citizens petition question submitted on coal mining in the Alberta Rockies. Musician Cor Blund applied earlier. The province made some rule changes that meant that the petition was not issued. Lund has been a vocal opponent of any coal mining and exploration in the eastern slopes of the Rockies. He's now submitted his intention to reapply for the petition. He won't be subject to the new petition fee of $25,000. However, his application will still cost him $500. Just ahead, lending a helping hand. Local students help their neighbors as they become snow heroes. Plus, heading out for the holidays. Holiday cheer greeted those departing from Edmonton's airport earlier today.
Specifically today, we're looking at about 24,000 passengers coming in and out of our airport.
Good evening, folks. The deep freeze is here, and watch this. It is sticking around. There's Saturday. Here's Sunday. Into early next week. Several days with daytime highs in the minus 20s and mornings in the minus 25 to minus 30 range. Some more snow in the forecast as well. We'll talk about all that in just a few minutes.
Welcome back. Today was one of the busiest travel days of the year at YEG. The weather hampering the drive there and some of the flights. Now, that didn't stop crews from trying to spread a little bit of Christmas cheer. CTV's Nicole Lampa has more.
Merry Christmas. 'Twas 6 days before Christmas, and all through EIA, elves were helping travelers eagerly flying out today.
It's the worst winter we've seen in years, and it's wonderful going to Mexico at this time of year.
The important part is being with family, and it's my birthday tomorrow. So
what fun it is to ride and sing. Through the halls, carolers belted cheerful songs, making the mood festive despite lines that were long.
Specifically today, we're looking at about 24,000 passengers coming in and out of our airport. Definitely check the status of your flight before leaving home.
A flight cancellation here and more delays there. Travelers being told to be prepared.
It was a little bit of a trip here to get. Roads aren't great, the flight wasn't great, but I'm here.
I got a little something for you here.
Santa making a stop despite the cold. Edmonton has the closest major airport to the North Pole.
Keeps him happy, so if you keep the kids entertained, it makes our life easy, right?
Travelers feeling festive like the airport crew. A warning, though, the 24th and 27th will be busy too. Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer. Nicole Lampa, CTV News, Edmonton.
Now, students across our city are being encouraged to help their neighbors this winter. Here's how. The Snow Heroes Challenge was started by the city to teach kids about the importance of snow removal and responsibility. CTV's Amanda Anderson has more.
Are you guys ready to get outside and make a difference?
These grade 6 students at Monsignor William Irwin get bundled up, ready to tackle the snow-covered sidewalks outside their school.
If it just snowed, then it's not hard, but if it's it snowed a couple days ago, then it's hard.
The school is one of 17 taking part in the Snow Heroes Challenge put on by the city.
Snow removal in Edmonton is such an important part of our community, and it's such an important part of living in a winter city. And if we can encourage youth to get involved, it can make such a difference.
As part of the challenge, kids are encouraged to think of neighbors who might need a helping hand.
Not even just elders, like people who are hurt that can't shovel and live alone, and they need someone to shovel, or they don't have money to get someone to shovel.
Chigalum Umanido says neighbors have tried to pay her for her work.
I've declined. They're very thankful, and I explain what we're doing, and they say that it's nice.
Each student has a chart to keep track of snow removal jobs they've completed.
After they complete 5 houses, they become a snow hero, or after 10, they become a storm legend, and at the end, they become a snow monster.
Gabrielle Lyle says it can be a challenge for some students to become snow heroes.
Some students maybe don't have the opportunity to go and shovel as many walks as others because they live in an apartment building or they don't have enough connections in the community. So that's a bit of a challenge, but even just shoveling one house will make a difference.
It's hard work these kids are glad to do, even if it's cold out.
You kind of feel happy because you're helping people. I feel quite good about myself because I'm helping those who need it.
The kids hope there's plenty more snowy days this winter.
I'm hoping we get lots because it's really fun.
Amanda Anderson, CTV News, Edmonton.
The Oilers' new goalie, who was acquired in a trade just a week ago, is now injured. Last Friday, the Oilers picked up Tristan Jarry in a trade with the Pittsburgh Penguins, sending back Stuart Skinner and defenseman Brett Kulak. Last night was Jarry's 3rd game with the Oil. He left with an injury late in the second period against the Boston Bruins. The Oilers have called up Connor Ingram from the AHL's Bakersfield Condors to back up Calvin Pickard. Pickard and the Oilers beat the Bees 3-1. Quinn Hudson's first NHL goal stood up as the game winner. After the break, a gripping story of strength, resilience, and survival. We'll tell you about a Canadian sailor who survived hours stranded at sea.
When I came up over one wave, just another wave hit me on the side that I wasn't really expecting.
Everyone here at Your Morning hopes you're enjoying the season full of giving and goodwill.
We're spending time with our families and friends and wishing you happy holidays. Your Morning returns December 29th. See you then.
Your Morning Edmonton, weekdays.
Programming brought to you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law.
Welcome back. Officially minus 16 for a daytime high today, although pretty much all morning and afternoon temperatures were around minus 20 and wind chill was in the minus 30 range. We'll see similar conditions over the coming days. Wind won't be as strong tomorrow, though, as it was today. You've got this Arctic high pressure system dropping through. Sky's pretty clear, so around minus 30 tomorrow morning and then some increase in cloud tomorrow afternoon. We'll get some snow or some light flurries here in through the Peace Country. Doesn't look too heavy. That'll pass mostly north of Edmonton, but I've put a slight chance of some flurries in the forecast for tomorrow evening. I think it's Sunday night into Monday that has the next best chance to be some shovelable snow, maybe up to 5 centimeters there. In the pink zones, Fort McMurray North, Grande Prairie, East Central Alberta, a cold warning. Wind chill in the minus 40s. Tomorrow morning. In fact, even through tomorrow afternoon, you're going to be close to minus 40 wind chills in East Central Alberta. It'll be a little breezier there than in the Edmonton area. Look at these temperatures tomorrow morning. Minus 30, Cold Lake, minus 28 here in Edmonton, minus 34 in Grande Prairie. Fort McMurray, minus 22, wind chill minus 33 in the afternoon. Mid minus 30, wind chill, Cold Lake, close to minus 40. These are your 5 p.m. temperatures and wind chills. Minus 38 tomorrow afternoon in Grande Prairie for wind chill. Even Red Deer stuck in the mid-minus 30s. In Lloydminster all day. Temperatures close to minus 30 and wind chill in the minus 40 range. Here in the city, we'll see minus 22. Fairly light wind, 5 to 10 kilometers per hour, but at times that's going to push the wind chill close to minus 30. In the evening, you get a chance of flurries. Winter officially starts on Sunday. After that, days gradually start to get a little bit longer. They don't get much warmer, though. Chance of a couple centimeters of snow Sunday night into Monday. Look at those daytime highs stuck in the minus 20s right through Christmas Eve. Back into the mid-minus teens by either Christmas Day or Boxing Day. And then there's a chance that for at least a day or two before the end of the month, we'll get back close to average around the 28th or 29th. Cold for the next 5 to 7 days, though. That is your forecast.
A Canadian Navy sailor is sharing his story of survival at sea. He was tossed into the freezing waters off of Vancouver Island after a freak wave hit his vessel. CTV's Brendan Strait reports.
I knew that I'd either get found or it wasn't my problem anymore.
That's sailor first class Matt Blades, the man who was at the center of an exhaustive search off the shores of southern Vancouver Island a little more than a week ago.
Basically, we were going out to conduct operations outside of Bentic Island to support an RQS-3 course.
Blades was at the helm of the rigid hull inflatable boat on its way back to base when a powerful storm began to pick up steam.
When I came up over one wave, just another wave hit me on the side that I wasn't really expecting. Caused me to lose my balance and get thrown out of the boat.
Blades was attached to the boat's kill switch, taking it into the water with him. The other sailor on board couldn't get the boat restarted.
I was trying to swim towards the boat, but that boat just took off like a sail.
That's when the junior sailor who was still on board called for assistance, and a rescue mission was launched. Now alone, floating roughly 2 kilometers offshore in stormy seas, Blades had to focus on survival.
I was sitting there dressed in all black.
That's when ships began arriving.
I had about 16 boats go past me where I thought I could yell at them.
Although nobody could hear his cries for help. After more than 2.5 hours in the frigid, rough waters, Blades began to hear the sounds of air support that had joined the search.
You just start seeing the lights coming up in the sky.
He knew then that it was only a matter of time before he would be found.
Now as they were creeping closer, I was like, oh, they're going to find me soon.
He just waved his hand up. He's alive.
They didn't spot me with any of the instruments. It was actually the guy spotted me with his eyeball.
After 3 hours alone, wearing only a PFD and a dry suit, Blades was finally discovered.
As soon as that flare went down, I just started sending kisses up to the helicopter. I was just like, hell yeah, like, good work, boys.
Blades was pulled from the water by the crew of a pilot boat.
I'd say I was anywhere from mild to moderate hypothermia.
Then taken to hospital by a waiting ambulance, where he was checked over. After taking a week off work, the sailor is now back on the job and couldn't be more grateful to those that were responsible for saving his life that stormy day off the shores of Albert Head.
Gratitude? Oh, yeah. Yeah, nothing more.
Brendan Strain, CTV News, Esquimalt.
Absolutely incredible resilience. All right, folks, that is all from us on this Friday. Thanks for joining us to wrap up your week. We'll see you back here, same place, same time on Monday night. But until then, you take care and goodbye for now.